My name is Clay Winters. I'm the general manager here at Control Tech, and I'm here with Chrissie and Kendyl from Duke Energy. And we just want to talk about the new program they have through SmartSaver, where they can save over $3,000. You, the consumer, can save over $3,000. So we just want to talk about that. So Chrissie and Kendyl, if you guys can just introduce yourselves. Kendyl, if you want to go first, and then Chrissie, and then give us a little background about what you do with Duke.
Hi, my name is Kendyl Phelps. I am the Trade Ally Outreach Coordinator for Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky. It is my job to pass along the programs for all of our Find a Duke trade allies and our SmartSaver trade allies. All of our information comes from Chrissy, who does our program. So I am kind of the liaison between the program and you guys.
And I'm Chrissie Thompson. I manage the SmartSaver home improvement rebate program at Duke Energy for our Indiana and Kentucky customers and the Find a Duke referral service, where we engage with local trade allies to help support our customers' energy efficiency projects in their residential homes.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for introducing yourself, and just to let people know, we've been a part of the Duke Smart Saver program for a very long time, and we always we always our big thing is educating our customers, and the Duke Smart Saver program has always been great. It's one of the few programs that's been around consistently for a very long time. It's always offered different energy efficiency rebates and everything, and all of our employees and everything are aware of these programs, and we do educate our customers on them when we're out there. And I know there's a lot of companies that don't, and we always wonder why, because there's such great incentives and everything like that. This is one of the biggest rebate incentives I've ever seen Duke do myself. So if one of you could give me some context, like what kind of led to this and what's kind of the time frame on that.
Sure. So, Clay, I think you're referring to our expanded offering of the new high performance HVAC rebates.
Yes.
We just received approval by the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission. That's the technical entity that oversees these energy efficiency programs that the utility offers our customers. Our Smart Saver program has a lineup of air conditioners and air source heat pumps, even geothermal heat pumps and mini splits currently. And we have the privilege to offer an even greater rebate to our customers, ranging from $2,000 to $3,000 in this new lineup. Just if you've already got an existing air source heat pump and you're converting to a geothermal, a dual fuel system, or a cold climate heat pump or mini split, you get the additional, sort of increased rebate amount to kind of further your energy efficiency. And it helps us keep the energy off the grid, helps our system run more reliably, helps keep the utility costs down for all customers in general, reduces the environmental impacts of energy consumption, as a whole for our communities. So energy efficiency is our main focus in this program, but it's also, incentive to our customers to improve their systems even early. If you have, critical component failures or systems that are at their end of life, there are rebates available, but then we also increase those rebates for replacing them early because you get a greater energy savings. And, you see those utility costs decrease over time with those higher efficiency systems. So that's the goal and the purpose of the Smart Saver rebates.
Awesome. No, and that's great. And because one of the big things we're a proponent of is for our customers to be proactive, and take advantage of things, before, I know you guys have the critical failure and everything like that, rebates, but it is important. Our big thing is, hey, do it preventative and get ahead of it before these go away. Because, the two things I say that I know for sure is that these rebates don't last forever. Most of the times, they'll end here at December 31st of this year, or when the program runs out of funds, essentially, which hasn't happened to us with Duke before, but it has happened to us with another utility where middle of summer, they ran out of the funds for the program. And we tell people, we're like, hey, we don't know that these are going to be around forever. I know the federal tax credits are going away. And then I know that January 1st is typically when our vendors, all manufacturers, will have their annual price increase. So I'm like, this is the time to do it and be proactive with the decision making.
Absolutely. And you're right, Clay. These programs are ratepayer funded. They are supported by the customers and their eligibility means, as a Duke Energy customer, you're paying into this program. So taking advantage of these rebates, like you said, the sooner the better. The energy efficiency programs have been in existence, like you said, for years now. We do have, uh, first come, first serve, sort of, in the fine print. But we also, as a utility, want to continue supporting these efforts as much as possible, given the, approval by, like I said, the commission approves this for us to operate, and we don't anticipate any issues, being able to offer these in the future. But um, the plans do change over years depending on technologies and things like that. So we're in the process of working on, future lineup. But um, being able to add these new conversion rebates, we're calling them from, converting from air source heat pump to the higher performance geo, dual fuel, and cold climate heat pumps. That was even a mid-year add. So we got the approval in July to add those systems, and we are in the process of updating our Duke Energy website. So I sent all this information to the marketing team to get added, and last week they had the final proof. So that should be up soon. I want to say within a week or maybe two.
Awesome. Yeah, and I what I love about the program too is it kind of most of our Duke customers are in the same regions as also CenterPoint Energy, which I was hoping to get them on this call, but they're a little further out on getting set up with us. If I have a customer that was all electric and wanted to convert to natural gas, there are some incentives from citizens as well. And so our big thing is just trying to, again, educate people because there are a lot of customers that do like switching from all electric, an air handler, like you said, air source heat pump and electric resistance heat and go into natural gas. So it does make that conversation a little easier when you have all these utilities working together in addition with the federal tax credits. So I think it'll be huge. The more people that know about that and the more people that have access to that, I think it's a no-brainer. And having the dual fuel application is huge because you kind of get the best of both worlds. You get, the gas for when you want to have the gas heat, and you have the heat pump for when you want that. And the efficiency ratings on these heat pump systems now compared to what they were 20 years ago um, is insane. And I remember, I mean, literally, I say 20 years ago, but I remember that early 2000s when people were talking about dual fuel, and the efficiency wasn't anywhere near where it is now. And now, to me, it just makes sense. So that's one of the things that we're starting to have more of that conversation with our customers and everything like that, because it's almost like, why wouldn't you at this point?
Great. Yeah, I agree. I think it's an excellent opportunity to take advantage of, our gas customers that have the availability, like you said, with CenterPoint or even a propane vendor. Some more rural areas might not have that accessibility to the natural gas pipeline, but it's also available to our propane customers.
That's thank you for answering that. That I literally skipped right over that. I was sitting there, I was focused on the center point thing, but I have had that question because we do have customers that are Duke that live in rural areas that don't have natural gas. Maybe they have oil, or some other, like they have capabilities like that, but they want to switch to, liquid propane or something like that. And we do have that same incentive. So I appreciate you mentioning that because that was one of the questions I did get early on when we saw this program.
Sure.
Is there any other information you can provide us or anything that can help customers? I mean, I think for the most part, you've covered it pretty well. Because that's what I was essentially wanting to just understand was how the program looks, what's the future going to look like, which you just said it's extended to 26, which is great. Um, but is there anything else that customers may want to know or may want to find online or anything like that?
For the most part, as soon as the website is live, it should be pretty self-explanatory. A lot of it's already out there except for these three new categories of measures. But if you look at your Trade Ally portal where you log in and enter the rebates for our customers, there's, an updated PDF spreadsheet of all the rebate amounts that you can share with the customers. And then, of course, if you ever have any technical questions, feel free to reach out to us and we'll answer those, as quickly as possible to help your customers make decisions on what's best for them. So,
Awesome.
no, I'm just excited that we have the opportunity to include these higher rebates and for the greater energy savings that customers are really looking for these days.
Yeah, and it's also and again, another thing you brought up is these are the higher rebates, but there are still rebates for people changing out just their central air conditioning system and heat pump systems. They're not as great as going to this plan, but there are still incentives for those customers as well. So we don't want to forget about them because some people may say, no, I want to stick with my heat pump, or I just want a higher efficiency air conditioner and everything like that. So we don't, I'm talking about the big incentives that you guys have because, like I said, I've been in the business for 25 years, and this is one of the biggest incentives I've seen on this end. But that's not. I don't want to take away from the other programs because you guys do have other programs for those as well.
That's right. So our SmartSaver program starts with central air conditioners, and granted, those, if you have a critical component failure and you're deciding to stick with the lower CO2 rated air conditioning, it starts at $200. And maybe that's not, a deciding factor in a deal, but it is a great opportunity to get, money off of a system that's going to save you energy in the long run. And, as our partners, our Smart Saver Trade allies, you're entering the rebate for the customer and they'll get the $200 prepaid Visa card or MasterCard in the mail or, a virtual wallet, however they decide to receive that rebate. But it is helpful to offset the cost of, a new system if it's
Yep.
necessary or if they decide to replace it early, it's $300. That's our first tier central air conditioning unit here in Indiana that's eligible for a rebate, but it is, more energy efficient and will also save on those energy costs.
And that was another thing is on the larger rebates as well, the 2 to 3 thousand for the dual fuel setup. Is that same thing? Is that a Mastercard that they receive, or is it a credit on their account?
It is. So all of our Smart Saver rebates come digitally with a virtual wallet in their email or a physical prepaid card that gets mailed to the customer, within a few weeks of submitting it. So they'll be able to spend that, at whatever retailer available for those cards. But they do receive those. They do receive the rebate.
Perfect. Yeah, because that's one of the questions we get all the time. Just so you guys know, we get that a lot from our customers. Is number one, they ask, "Do you guys file this rebate?" Which we do, and they love that because then they don't have to mess with it and everything like that. So we do file that rebate for them, and then knowing that they do get like you said, the virtual wallet is nice because some people think, if it's just a credit on my account, how does that work? And I go, no, no, you actually get dollars that you can spend, you can use, and everything like that.
Exactly. Gas, restaurants, bills, wherever they're accepted, that's what you'll get as the funds on your own personal reward card.
Awesome. No, I think this is great. I can't think of anything else, questions that I have or anything like that. And I just want to thank you guys for jumping on today and everything. And we'll get this out to our customers just so they know a little bit more about the program. Because I think one of the big things that we focus on, again, education and then also transparency. It's one thing for us to send out a message saying, hey, Duke has this available right now, but it's even bigger when we have you guys on and you're able to talk about the program because it solidifies what's available and what's coming and helps them make an educated decision. So I just want to say thank you guys very much.
You're welcome. And thank you, Clay, for being an advocate for this program, and a partner with us to share this information with our mutual customers. And I shared that we got the approval to offer these higher rebates on July 31st, but a rebate, a purchase is eligible for a rebate 60 days after it's installed. So anything you've installed from July 31st until now that would qualify, feel free to contact those customers and let them know this new rebate is eligible, since July 31st. And just appreciate you spreading the word and helping us educate our customers. And we'll make sure that when our website is up to date, we share a copy of the customer facing website with you so you can see, what's out there. And maybe there will be a couple updated frequently asked questions you can look through and share those with our customers as well.
Yeah, no, that's great. And also, yeah, I'm sure my customers are going to be super excited if I call and say, hey, I'm going to give you an extra 2 to 3,000. If in the event that we replaced a system that may have qualified and maybe we submitted for just the heat pump rebate at that time, how would that work? Like if they already got a rebate on that and then now they qualify for this, does Duke just do an offset, or how does that work?
We can look at those scenarios individually and make
Okay.
sure that we make them whole on anything that they would have qualified for that wasn't that you weren't aware of. So feel
Okay.
free to send those details to Kendall, and we can look through the system to make sure that we've covered everybody who might have qualified based on what they purchased after July 31st.
Okay. Well, again, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. If there's anything else we can do, feel free to reach out to me and everything like that. But I do appreciate your time and everything. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks, Clay.
absolutely. Appreciate it. And I will be there to support you so you can support your customers in the best way you can.
Control Tech Heating and Plumbing.